Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For those tuning in on the simulcast on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on X, we're glad you all could be with us today. Going to bring in our friends over on IG so they can be a part of our chat as well. And last but certainly not least, going to connect with our friends over on Amazon Live. Have a returning guest, as you guys can see, that's back with us to kick off the month of February. She's out with a brand new book out today. She has a book coming out later on this year. She's going to be telling you guys the title of today, as well as talking to us about the plan she has for National Wedding Month, a very big deal for her. And we're live now on the Amazon Live side with Cyrus Webb Presents. If you guys are new to us on Amazon, welcome. Make sure you guys hit that follow button either here in this corner or down below. You also will see the books and podcasts by our next guest. Melissa Banks is back with us today. She's a master event planner, media personality, also a best-selling author. We're going to talk to her about the start to her February with her brand new book that's already an Amazon bestseller. You guys can see it there on the Amazon side, A Perfect Day. It's an ebook right now. There is a print edition that's coming later, but she also has other books there as well. We're going to talk to her also about what you guys can expect for her coming up later on this year too. Melissa, welcome back to the broadcast.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Cyrus.
Well, look, it's always a pleasure to talk with you as well. Kicking off a brand new month, Melissa, and you came in with a brand new book that's officially out today, A Perfect Day. Talk to us about this book, Melissa, and how it ties into what you've been able to do, especially as a master event planner.
A perfect day. I'm so excited about it and the timing that it came out because it gives me a chance to lean into one of my loves. And it's what started my entire event planning career, actually, was planning weddings for couples and just noticing the stress that couples go through when they're planning their weddings. They're all over the place. And I thought, what a great way to make that journey more pleasurable. I can remember saying to couples, this is supposed to be fun, not stressed out, right? So that's what that book is about. It's just giving them some tips, some ways to handle what to put their priorities to, so that it is a experience that they want to remember and not something that's overwhelming and stressful.
Yeah. And this is something that you spent a couple of decades working on, Melissa, when it comes to helping not only couples, but also individuals that are putting together events. You have your other book, Plan It Like a Pro. I have my copy here. You also have a book that's in a similar vein. Then I'm going to highlight for our audience there. Do I really need an event planner? You guys can get it there in print of the Kindle edition. How does the new book, A Perfect Day, how does it tie into these books, Melissa?
Well, do I really need an event planner? It's for that person who likes planning their own events, right? But they may not need to plan their own event. And it gives them the benefits of hiring a professional to walk through that event with them and how it can benefit them. A Perfect Day does the same thing. It's just focused on the couple because I do believe, and I've believed this from the beginning, that the planning process is part of the experience, right? So if you're stressed out, if you're all over the place, you cannot be enjoying the experience. And that's what both of those books do, is help you through the process. How, if you do decide to plan it yourself, how can you make that a pleasurable experience, whether it's an event, a business event, or your big day, your wedding day.
Love that. The Crazy Kurt Girl, hello to you over there on IG. Glad you could be able to join us as well. I see you guys also over there on YouTube. If you guys have any questions or comments for Melissa, make sure you guys put those in the chat. So, Melissa, this is really interesting. This book, A Perfect Day, that's out today, is really a full circle moment for you because some 6 years ago, if someone had said the name Melissa Banks, the main thing people would have been thinking about is Melissa Banks, the event planner. But you've been able to add a lot of other slashes after your name since then. As I mentioned, even in my introduction, you're a media personality. You host 2 shows, 2 podcasts currently. As I mentioned, you have several books that you have here as well. You also are a speaker. How does it feel to have built on your reputation of not only being an event planner, but also someone that people can come to for motivation and inspiration as well?
That's pretty exciting to me. I was thinking about that today, actually, how it started out with design, then it went to event planning, and then it went to the motivation and speaking and being able to talk to people and an author. But it all ties in together, and that flow is so wonderful and such a great feeling to know that it kept evolving and doors kept opening into areas that I never thought 26 years ago when I first started that I would be impacting people emotionally, their motivation, their actions. All of that ties into events, though. Events are so much more than the day of. It's so much more than what you walking into a beautiful space. It's the attitudes, the personalities, the feelings all along the process. And I've been able to do that in every area. So it all ties together. And that's exciting to me.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that, Melissa, because there may be people who are looking at you and wondering, how do you do it? Because a lot of times people get the advice that they have to pick, they have to choose what they're going to do. You haven't had to do that. You've been able to have your lane as an event planner, you have your lane as a media personality, you have your lane as a speaker, your lane as an author. What has helped you to kind of be able to do each one of those things and give them your best and not have to choose between one or the other?
Isn't it amazing honor to be able to do more than one thing? I can remember when we were told you pick one thing, you get really, really good at that one thing, and that's all you do.
Hmm.
But how amazing is it to be able to do many things that you love? The key for me, though, Cyrus, was being willing to step into those areas, because that's the first thing to do, is being willing to step into those areas, but
Right.
also putting some people around you that helps you manage the different types of things. I think that's what happened to us, is when when we do decide to do more than one thing, we get overwhelmed because we're trying to
Mhm.
do it all and don't know how to plan it out. And when I began to work with a PR person that will remain nameless here, that's when it really made sense to me. I'll just point to him. But that's really when it made sense that, you know what, I can do more than one thing. It's just being willing to plan it out, knowing your time so that it doesn't feel so overwhelming. And I
Yeah.
think once you can wrap your mind around that it has to be a plan, and it's not all, you're not all over the place. You
Mhm.
can feel it, you can grow in different areas, and you can reach the people that you need to reach.
Yeah, and let's stay with that for a second, Melissa, because I think the other side, what I did not mention, is that you've also been able to stay true to yourself along the way and things that you're passionate about. One of those things is jewelry, and
Mhm.
outside of the things that I mentioned, you also host your own live shopping experience that you call dream parties. What has that been like for you too? Because I think for our audience out there who may have a love of something, a passion for something, you've been able to monetize that in a way with your dream party lives and what you've done with Dream by Design. How does that feel to be able to take those two things of not only something that you love like jewelry, but also sharing that with your audience?
For the longest, I thought jewelry was not something that I could do and do the other stuff that deemed more important. But the jewelry is just as important. What the key was for me with the jewelry, honestly, is I knew I wanted to do it. I wrote it in my journals many years before I actually started adding jewelry to my business.
Hmm.
But the online part has changed the game, right? And it was the thing I was kicking and screaming that I did not want to do, but it changed everything because it made it more personable. And see, it still all ties in because we're talking, we're sharing, I'm meeting people across the world that I wouldn't have an opportunity to meet. Maybe not in anything else that I do. Maybe that person only comes across my path with the jewelry, and that's
Hmm.
what the online experiences allows us to do. And I love it. I'm excited about it. That was the one thing that I didn't mention when I was talking earlier, is make sure those things that you keep adding on are
Hmm.
things that you love to do, and it
Yeah.
won't seem so heavy for you. Because even though I do many different things, I love all of them, and I know you can relate to that.
Yeah, and that definitely makes a difference because it is all work. And I
Yeah.
think, and I see you guys over there on Amazon. Hello to you. Glad you guys could be with us. And I think that is the big thing, Melissa, especially in the world we live in today. If you're going to invest your time and energy into things, you want to make sure it's things that you love for sure. So let's talk about the audience, because each one of the things that we mentioned, Melissa, can come with their own audience. Sometimes there may be some cross currents there, but how does it feel to hear from people who've either gotten your journals or gotten your books or even seeing your tips that you share online? What has it been like for you to be able to see the way that the things that you're doing are impacting those that are your audience?
I am still blown away when that happens. I get excited when someone says to me, I saw you for the first time, which happened to me today. She says,
Hmm.
Melissa, I saw you for the first time this weekend, and I didn't know you did all of that. And she shared what it meant to her.
Yeah.
That is so fulfilling and rewarding, more than anything, more than the money, more than anything, is to feel like somebody heard your voice and you impacted them in some type of way. So that is so exciting to me, and that's been able to happen not just either in the event plan or the motivational moments that we've been doing, or maybe they saw me at an event recently. I love that. And of course, the jewelry. That's always something that people will say, I didn't know you did that. Why did you choose pearls? And it turns into a whole conversation with somebody you never even met. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and I love that too, and I know our audience appreciates that too. I want to reset and say for those who are just tuning in, you're watching Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live, but we're simulcasting this across social media on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. We're joined by Melissa Banks today. She's a master event planner, Amazon best-selling author. She's a motivational speaker, as well as a media personality herself. Both of her podcasts, both the Melissa Banks Show and Dream by Design with Melissa Banks, are both available here on Amazon through Amazon Music. So that's the next component I want to talk about, Melissa, because also, in the beginning, podcasting was not something that you were doing. You host, as I mentioned, not one but two podcasts, one of which is getting ready to celebrate its 100th episode this year, and that is Dream by Design with Melissa Banks. How does that feel to be hosting these shows and to be able to reach this milestone this year?
You know what? Even to host one show was beyond something I could dream myself. I mean, just a few years ago, I had never done a public interview before, let alone think about hosting a show. So when that door opened and God opened that door, I was scared and I was uncomfortable, but I knew I was supposed to do it. And look at how it's grown. And to think about Dream by Design with Melissa Banks, which was the first podcast, and that podcast just gives women a platform to talk to each other, to celebrate, to talk about the struggles. And it's such an honor to have done that with 100 guests. That means 100 women have talked to me. That's just kind of blows my mind to even say that out of my mouth as we celebrate 100 coming up really soon. So I'm excited about that. That is a platform that let women talk. And then not one, but two podcasts. That's just God blowing your mind, because that's definitely not something I thought would ever happen. And now I get the opportunity to talk to many individuals, men and women from all platforms all over the world, and hear about their journeys and share some inspiration and that will impact others as well on a totally different platform. So that's totally thrilling and exciting.
Yeah, love that. So, Melissa, let's talk then about where we are. As we mentioned, we're beginning a brand new month. Yes, it is National Wedding Month, along with other things too. But with every new month, there is, especially for entrepreneurs out there, and that's the next bucket I want to talk about. They may be looking at February and thinking, you know what? This is not the year that I planned on. Things are not going the way I thought they would. And here it is, another month, another reminder of what I haven't done, what I haven't achieved. What helps you with perspective, Melissa, as an entrepreneur? Because every day is not going to be perfect. Everything is not going to go according to plan. What do you normally do to kind of help to recalibrate yourself and to reset so that you don't get discouraged when things don't go your way?
Every day is a day on its own. Every day I have a commitment to myself that every single day I'm going to do the best I can to move my business forward, to reach the people who are supposed to hear my voice. Every day I'm going to do something that leads me in that way. And another thing that helps me, Cyrus, is writing down lists, looking at what I want to achieve for that day, and only focusing on what I can do, not what didn't happen, not what I can't do. That self-talk that brings you down, I have learned to change that self-talk, make sure that I'm focused on 2 or 3 things that I want to get accomplished this day that's going to move me a little bit further. I believe what happens to us is we focus on everything that didn't work. I had big plans for January. Nothing that I planned for January worked, and then we start cataloging all the stuff that didn't work. Therefore, our focus is on what didn't work, not on the progress that we're making every single day. And I just believe if you keep moving, you keep making progress every single day, things will change, things will shift, as long as you are consistent and continue to move.
Yeah, it's such a great reminder, I think, for us because I think so many times we can get bogged down on the what didn't, or we allow other people to do that to us. That's the
Mhm.
next thing I want to talk about for our audience, Melissa, because one of the things you do in your motivational messages is you kind of expand it out and sharing those on Facebook and Instagram, and now YouTube, where you're getting a lot of traction as well. You talk to people about about not only of course their own self-doubt, but also how other people can heap their own limitations on them. What
Mhm.
helps you not to allow the limitations of others to put you in a box or put you in a cage, Melissa?
It's the motivational messages, scriptures, talking, listening to people who motivate and uplift. Changing the channel is what I call it. What you pour into your mind is what's going to grow. So you want to make sure that you're pouring some positive into your mind. You're not taking on somebody else's opinion. You and I both know I had an experience when I first wrote my first book. And when I look at that experience didn't stop me. When I look back at it, it pushes me to keep going, to keep going. I don't take on that person's opinion.
Hmm.
That your opinion is the one who counts. The words you say to yourself are the ones that count. And as long as you stay focused on that, you will keep moving, and those other people's opinion won't stop you. It's when you start believing them, when you start repeating what they said with belief, that's when it starts to grow.
Such a great thing. And that leads us into some of the other books that you have here. I'm going to highlight them for our audience here. On Amazon, you have what was your first book, Dream by Design, the devotional here. You have Dream by Design, the inspirational journal. And also, you have the Dream by Design Dream Journal. If I remember correctly, Melissa, I think you told me the Dream Journal has been your biggest seller. Talk to us about this book and what do you think it has been like for you to not only share your own love of journaling, but also to see the way that people are enjoying them as well.
Because I believe that journaling is so critical, and I think so many other people believe that too, because it's your words, it's your thoughts that you're literally sitting down putting on paper. And that started for me many years ago, and I have still have some of those old journals that remind me of the journey, remind
Mhm.
me of the things I made it through, especially on the tough days. Right, it's your own words and thoughts. You may never speak them out loud, but you can write them in that journal, and they're for you. And I believe that's what other people see as well.
Yeah, I'm going to highlight for our audience a book that we don't get to talk as much about, and that is your first book, Dream by Design, the devotional. There, you all can get it there in print or the Kindle edition. I love the fact that in this book you have these great messages and a place for people to write their encouragement for the day. On this particular day, you wrote, "Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can." I want to talk about how those words impact Melissa Banks. And Melissa, I also want you to talk to our audience and how you hope that's able to help them as they're entering into a new month.
You know what? Sometimes we think we have to have it all together. We have this great idea. We've year after year we wanted to do it, but we wanted to get this in place. We wanted to have the money in place. We wanted to have the nice computer and the beautiful lights in place. Kept coming up with reasons why we couldn't say yes to that dream that's on our heart. But you know what? You don't need all that to get started, but you do need to get started to make anything else happen. And that's what that says to me is you have to start. That's it. Take the step, make the phone call, send the email, whatever it is that you start with. The key is to start. And the reason that to me, the having the page where you can write your encouragement pushes you to that action level. See, motivation has to happen over and over and over again. But if all you do is get motivated and it never propels you to action, then nothing is going to change. You're just going to be excited for a moment. What
Mhm.
that does is says, this is a great motivation, and I get it. Now, what am I going to do with it? And writing it down makes it real, pushes you to take that step, and taking that step changes everything.
Love that. Last thing I want to talk to you about, Melissa, the last time you were on this show, we talked about something that you have coming up later on this year, and that is writing your autobiography. And we also said in the month of February, you're going to be doing a cover reveal. how does it feel to know first, before we tell people the title of the book and when they can expect the cover reveal, how does it feel to be sharing the Melissa Banks story with the world in a book?
Scary. It makes me feel nervous. But I talk about this all the time, moving in spite of the fear. And that's what this is going to do, because I believe it will help so many people when they learn the journey, the celebrations and the struggles that I've gone through over my entire career and beyond. And I believe it's going to help somebody. It's there to help somebody. But honestly, it is a scary step, because anytime you're sharing your inner thoughts, anytime you're sharing the stuff that don't look pretty, see, people get excited with the pretty stuff, but when they see and hear the stuff that don't look pretty, you're nervous. I can remember the first time I even shared a little bit of my story on the stage at the Black Women's Business Expo. Mm-hmm. I was so nervous and afraid that people would judge my story. So, and that's what happens to a lot of us, and we keep our stories close. So I'm excited to share my story. I believe it's going to help people. But yes, I'm very nervous as well to share my story.
Well, that's exciting. That's exciting. So, Melissa Banks, as we mentioned, you doing the cover reveal this month in February. Tell our audience the title of the book and when you're going to be doing the cover reveal.
Okay, guys, this is exciting. Ooh, this is a big deal. It's like we got a drum roll going. I'm excited. The title of the book is The Life I Designed. The cover reveal will be February 12th, 2026. I hope, mark your calendar, get ready. It's going to be amazing. And I'm super excited about it.
Love it. So February the 12th will be the cover reveal. The book will be revealed, will be published in October, which is a very big month. A lot of things being recognized in October, some significant things also for Melissa. So we're excited about that. But again, The Life I Design, of course, is the title, as you heard Melissa say. Melissa, this is exciting, and I'm excited to say that I'm working on this book with you. I'm excited about that as well. All the other books, y'all, Melissa did all herself. I'm excited about being a co-author on this book with her. And I'm excited about being able to share her story. And also, I think it's going to be able to not only to help people, Melissa, but also to inspire people. And I think that's the cool thing as well. So make sure you guys, as you heard Melissa say, mark your calendars for February the 12th, when she'll be doing the cover reveal of the book, and then we'll be on countdown mode from there. Melissa, exciting. So outside of that, again, February is a busy month. What else should our audience be on the lookout for coming up?
Wow, of course, this is a brand new year, so we have a lot of stuff going on. Imagine the Possibilities returns this year. And in March, though, let me talk about that for just a moment. In March, Dream by Design with Melissa Banks, we're going to be spotlighting women. We're going to do our special series, Women Who Shine, and we're bringing women back to talk about their journeys. It's National Women's Month, a great time to do that. So we're excited about that. So definitely, if you have a woman that you want to make sure you spotlight, go to our link and make sure we know about her so that we can spotlight her in the month of March. So we're super excited about that as well.
Love it. Congratulations again, Melissa, on all the great things that are happening. I'm excited for you. Congratulations again on the brand new book that is officially out today. Again, a perfect day, perfect for those who are planning a wedding, maybe thinking about a wedding in the future. A great book to be able to add to your resources there. You guys can get it here on Amazon for only $3.99. And as I mentioned, the paperback edition is also going to be coming out as well. Melissa, great talking with you. Let our audience know how to stay connected with you.
This was a great conversation, Cyrus. I always enjoy talking to you. This is just amazing. I'm just jumping up and down and excited about all the things that are happening. And you can always connect with us at themelissabanks.com. All of our links are there, our social media links. If you want to be a guest on the podcast, either one, that's there. If you want to get our book, and just there's a link that sends you over to where you need to be for that. Everything's right there at themelissabanks.com.
Love it. Melissa, congratulations to you again. Looking forward to our next chat together.
So am I.
And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, y'all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.